Hello, fabulous Libra. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of October 2015. Love focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, we're actually entering this month focused on love for you. And this is largely thanks to an eclipse that happened late last month, a powerful lunar eclipse that had you making a smart choice. Smart developments took place from looking at your romantic situation more honestly and very likely through an interaction with at least one other person. So whether you are in a committed relationship, whether you're getting to know someone, or whether you are open to love, chances are another person has been there or was there so that you could get that perspective. You could get a look at where you are in love, understand the messages that you may be sending out, and to make some smart choices to move yourself towards greater stability and greater commitment. So I spoke about this a lot in last month's Love Focused Horoscope. You might want to watch that again since you're entering the month with that energy. But it really is in the middle of this month when the energy switches up big time where it comes to love. And the main switch is that focus on you amplifies that much more. Now, love always, in some way, introduces us to ourselves. It has us looking at ourselves differently and seeing ourselves reflected in the eyes of another. It gives us this whole other perspective. It's like a mirror where we see ourselves differently, hopefully more lovingly as well. But that's ultimately what interactions in love do, is it shows us who we really are, what we really believe in a whole other context than we might otherwise be able to observe. With this particular new moon happening in the middle of the month, now do remember, as I said, it's happening in your sign. It means that the focus is on you, your decisions, your actions, your changes. However, what we do have happening is Uranus standing across this new moon, speaking with this particular new moon in a type of conversation that astrologers call an opposition. And these types of conversations tend to play themselves out in relationships. That element becomes that much more heightened for you, this playing out in relationships. And very likely there's going to be at least one interaction that is going to leave you a little surprised, and going to leave you surprised mainly at yourself and how you are looking at yourself, how you are behaving is going to be part of the most surprising part. I actually think you are likely to have a reaction that takes you off guard, and possibly the people around you as well, or at least one key person as well. Ultimately, this is about showing you something about what we could call truth, right? The truth that you believe about yourself, the truth that you believe about this other person, the truth that you believe about love and what love is supposed to be. So we have this particular new moon playing out, a very important conversation playing out. And if you are in an established bond, you are going to feel this energy that much more, okay? And the element of you sort of looking at this person and going, oh my God, like this is who I'm with. And being really, I mean, I just see a moment where you're taken aback a little bit like, oh my goodness, this is what's happening with you. This is who you are. So there's some truth that is very likely to come to light, but ultimately it makes you see yourself differently as a result. It isn't going to be necessarily bad, okay? Because do remember, we're coming off of an eclipse. We're entering this month with the energy of an eclipse that took place in your opposite sign last month. What that means is you've already had a fresh perspective. You've already made some decisions that are balanced and that are mature. And this is really good. This is really good for love in the present and future prospects as well. But this is about you acknowledging where it is that who you are has determined much of your experience with this person. For some of you, it is going to be your partner that might have a complaint, right? Might say, you know, look, this is how you are. Look at how it is that you behave. It might be something that seems to come out of nowhere that you didn't even realize that this was a problem for the other person. But it might actually be you as well who gets this whole other way of considering the person that you are in this connection with, and that they are going through a significant change. And how are you now going to deal with that? And that's the thing about partnerships. Every partnership, whenever you're aligned with somebody, people are growing, right? We're all on our own path. We're all part of sort of a move that I think all of us in our own individual ways, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, sometimes consciously, sometimes not. But in our own way, we are all moving towards embodying or becoming more and more embodiments of greater love and greater wisdom, as I like to call it. And so this partner that you are with, while they may be your partner, they are on their own journey in that regard. And I think that some of the leaps and bounds that they are making, some of their understanding of what they need to do, even if they might not call it love and wisdom, some of what they are doing as part of their personal journey may catch you off guard, may actually surprise you. And it may be that your significant other is going through a significant change. And so it's going to be up to you to decide how it is that you're going to deal with this. Also, it might be you that has a realization, a revelation, and realizes that you've got to make a significant change. Well, what's that going to now mean for your partnership? So a lot of people out there, I think you're going to experience this energy if you're in an established bond that much more profoundly. But also if you're open to meeting somebody new. If you are open to meeting someone new, given the way that this conversation is taking place, this is really going to show you something about why you are where you are in love. And more importantly, it is going to be an awakening of sorts, you know? So if you have been one of those people say, oh, well, I really want to meet somebody. I don't know why it's not happening. I'm not connecting with somebody. Any kind of that stuff happening with you, chances are someone new will be presented. Now, how likely it is to last, I think if this is somebody that you met last month, late last month, that likelihood of it lasting longer is that much more amplified. But if you find yourself single, this is going to be some interaction that gives you a very needed insight, sort of a coming out of nowhere kind of insight that makes you say, okay, I get it. You know, these are my walls. These are my fears. These are my beliefs, right? And it might not even be fear or negative or anything. It might just be that you finally admit to yourself that you kind of want to be single right now, that it's okay for you not to be in a relationship right now. These are part of the learnings that you likely will be going through. And if you are getting to know somebody, you're dating somebody, under a sky like this, what tends to be really interesting to me is, yes, in an element it is about you. It's a new moon in your sign. So it is about what you are starting fresh, what you are starting new. But I think that there's an element that's likely to play out there that is going to have you saying to yourself, oh, wow, okay, I didn't know that's who you are. So there's going to be some whole other element introduced. And I think that those of you just getting to know somebody new are going to experience this energy very similar to the way your opposite sign, Aries, is going to experience this energy actually, where it's like, oh, okay, I didn't realize you had 6 kids. I didn't realize you had like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Like really that kind of moment. Now that is if you're just getting to know someone and you've been seeing them just, you know, through a more hopeful lens. Well, this will give you a bit of a reality check that actually is needed so you can better decide which way you want to go. But it is going to be a reality check and it is going to seem to catch you off guard and come out of nowhere. Also, if you've been dating somebody, one other scenario very strongly indicated is you might be thinking this is one thing, they might be thinking it's a whole other thing. So for your perspective, you might be thinking that, oh wow, okay, I'm getting to know this person, I have a strong connection with them. From their perspective, they might not be thinking along those lines at all. And so this is going to be that wake-up call to you like, oh, okay, I get it. This is not... it's not what I thought it was. That kind of moment actually can liberate you, actually might bring an element of relief to you as well. What I love about this month for you is that there is that focus on you. You get the proverbial it. You get where it is that your expectations, your experiences, and most importantly, your self-concept have brought you to where you are in regards to love and partnership. And that gives you a tremendous amount of power. that gives you a tremendous amount of power to decide who you are, to decide where it is that you desire to change. And from there, knowing that that will change and that must change the quality of the love and the greater love that you know you truly deserve.